we'll meet a West Michigan man who's devoted the last 25 years of his life to building one of the most detailed miniature railroads in the country.
201, you're clear to roll it.
Line clearance out of track 3 out of Tower Falls.
We got to get a maintainer out there, Hank.
Okay, we're sitting here at Walnut Hill. We got a red Corv. Also, third car back, the engine's got a hot box. It's an SB Hopper 73.
These men sound like they're working hard enough to run every railroad in the country, but they're actually members of a model railroad club who get together once a week to run one of the most complex miniature train systems in America. From their headsets, to the dispatcher at the control board, to the complicated switching systems, this is almost like a real railroad. But it's unlike anything you've ever seen. Bruce Chubb has been dreaming about building it for most of his life, and now that it's nearly finished, it's almost too much to believe.
Well, I guess I really started the hobby at about age 5 when my parents bought me a Lionel train set for Christmas.
Now, an ordinary train set might cover a small table and contain one engine and maybe up to 20 cars or so, but Bruce's goes beyond imagination. There are 500 train cars and around 35 locomotives in the Sunset Valley Railroad. That's what Bruce calls it because he's always been fond of sunsets. It now swallows up 3 full rooms of his basement, including the bathroom. Now, taking a tour around this mini railway kingdom is almost like taking a tour across America.
Kathy, you have to duck under here to get to the main room.
Okay.
And the town here I call Walnut Hill. This is the town I call East Fork, with the East Fork Station here built by my father-in-law. Then over here we have modeled the western part of the United States of a town we call San Clemente. The rock is all carved out of plaster and painted with artist colors. Okay, over here, Kathy, is the eastern part of the United States in the Pennsylvania, Virginia area. It's a town I call Snake Creek.
I don't think I've ever seen a train go through a bathroom before. Why isn't it a bathroom?
Well, when we moved in the house, we really needed the space for the railroad, so we actually put holes in 3 walls and run the trains right into the bathroom. In this room is our main terminal area of Fillmore. It's a combination passenger yard on this side and freight yard back here, and it's where all the major trains are made up.
As you can see, a lot of planning and hard work has gone into the construction of Bruce's dream, but he hasn't done it alone. His family's been involved from beginning to end of this immense project.
If I didn't have a family involvement, it wouldn't be anywhere near as strong as what it is from a hobby standpoint.
Bruce's wife, Jan, knew of his interest in trains since they were childhood friends, but it wasn't until she married the boy down the street that she realized she had married a train set, too.
It's really a privilege to be a part of someone's life when you can watch them step by step make their dream come true. And that's what you see here. Bruce's dream has come true.
His dream wasn't just to run trains around in a circle. It was much more than that.
It's an art form. It truly is a work of art. He had to have a conception of what it was, and then he's able to put that mental picture into reality, and to me, it is an art form.
It's really trying to put life into the transportation system.
Jan says the project was not without its problems, like the time Bruce wanted to knock a hole through the bathroom wall to run the train through.
That was a surprise.
So they struck a bargain. Like many they would strike throughout their marriage. She let him run the train through the bathroom if he would put in a vanity and build a shower for her. Now that was a creative way to solve a problem, and some of that creativity was passed on to his 2 daughters. One is a computer programmer in Denver, and the other, Sandy, sells computers. Both attribute their imagination to growing up around the trains.
Well, I think that in a lot of ways it's brought us closer together. It's given us something that we do as a family, which is unique.
Now that Sandy's married, her husband Bob has become interested in operating the railroad too.
So you probably wouldn't have married somebody unless he did like the trains.
I don't think Dad would have let me.
Right, but it's been a very big family project from the standpoint of my wife painted a lot of the scenery, does a lot of the details and a lot of planning with me. Daughters have worked on a lot of the equipment and specialized in the detail aspect.
But it's still Bruce's efforts that built the railroad. To make it even more realistic, the family actually painted on dust, grime, and rust, a time-consuming project to say the least.
And it's been about 28 years putting it all together as it is now. And I still probably have another 10 years to get it where I would say it's really in the finished state.
How attached are you to it?
Well, that's a better question for my wife.
A high percentage of the creative part of Bruce is in the railroad, so I would say it means a great deal.
To say that Bruce literally wrote the book on model railroading isn't an exaggeration.
So I really wrote that book to cover how real railroads operate and then how to take that theory and apply it to a model railroad, whether it be a small little system on a ping pong table or a large empire.
And an empire is what Bruce has. All put together in his basement, it's his own creation.
You've got the whole world at your fingertips, and you can model it the way you want and operate it the way you want. Not only your Gandhi dancer, but does the track work as well as the president. You can have it all.
And that he has.